Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast, where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. On this week's podcast, I'm Chase Lee, by the way, if this is the first time you're listening to this. Not that you need to know my name, it might help, because you might, I kind of sound like a Carl or like a Fred or something, so I just want to clear that up. But this week's episode is titled HG Mockingjay Part 1, so you can probably guess that this will be my review of the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. I will also have movie news, movie trailers to go over, and of course the box office results for the weekend. You guys know what made number one, but how much did it make? You'll find that towards the end. But the reason why I have to name this title HG Mockingjay Part 1 and not Hunger Games, because this website only allows a certain amount of characters in the title, so I had to shorten it. So no, this episode is not Harry Gonads Mockingjay Part 1. Just want to clear that up as well. Alright, so let's get this started. How you guys doing? You guys doing pretty good? I haven't seen you guys in a week. You guys seen any good movies lately? You guys going to any cool parties or anything? I went to a rock concert last night, so my hearing is kind of off, but that's okay because this is an audio podcast. So if I shout, that means my hearing's gone. But yeah, how you guys doing? You guys doing pretty good? All right, let's get this started. So this week's episode is brought to you by CobraCoins.com. They specialize in creating fully customized coins for any occasion. Seriously, you can create anything unique and call it your own. These coins are collected by video gamers and movie buffs everywhere. Seriously, you can put anything on it. You want to put like a Marvel character on it, or a Star Wars character on it, or a saying, or a quote, an emblem, or whatever. Put it on there. They will take care of it for you. Cobra Coins is trusted by many police departments around the nation, not to mention the U.S. Coast Guard, the Air Force, and even your neighborhood-friendly Walmart. Create your customized coins today at CobraCoins.com and receive a 10% off discount by mentioning my name, Chase Lee. That's why it's important. No, my name is not Brad, Carl, or Fred, but it is Chase Lee. CobraCoins.com, cold-blooded, hot prices. Now, I always like saying it like that just because, it just makes coins sound sexier. Like, who would have thought, like, looking at a penny, like, how are pennies sexy? But if you go, pennies are cold-blooded, hot prices, it makes it sound sexier, even though it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Are you guys enjoying yourselves so far? Alright, so let's get on with the movie news. This was actually a very slow news week. Not much going on, so I picked out the two stories that resonated with me, and let's talk about them. The first thing is in some sad news. A filmmaker has passed away, Mike Nichols, and he is a very fantastic American director, and he's made some really good films. The most famous one I would say is The Graduate, for sure. And I remember watching that on TV one day, and I thought it was a very good movie. He also did Charlie Wilson's War. I saw bits and pieces of it. I didn't see the whole thing. He also did Closer with Clive Owen. I called him Clive Oven. Apparently, Clive Owen is an oven, ladies and gentlemen. So don't stick your pizza in him because he might punch you in your face. It's got Julia Roberts, Natalie Portman, Ewan McGregor, and I have never seen Closer, but everyone raves about that movie, and I'm trying to look for it. Netflix, DVD, or just anywhere. I'm trying to look for it because I really want to watch it because everyone keeps hyping it up like crazy. So, but he's made those movies, and he also made The Birdcage with Robin Williams and Nathan Lane. I didn't see that one, but I have it booked to my Netflix queue. And a few others, but those are his more famous movies. The guy's won a ton of Tonys. He's won some Grammys, Grammys, I think. I don't know. I could be wrong with that, but he's like one of the only few people to win like an Oscar, a Golden Globe, a Tony, and something else. It might be a Grammy. I'm not sure. Probably should have done my research a little bit more clearly, but he has won like a lot of awards in like in many different art forms. So rest in peace, Mike Nichols. You've made some interesting movies. All right, so that is the first piece of news for the day. The second piece is, oh boy, I don't even know where to begin with this. Okay, so apparently, the Steve Jobs movie is going to come out, and it's going to be directed by Danny Boyle. It's written by Aaron Sorkin, and it was supposed to star Christian Bale, and it was supposed to be released by Sony Pictures. fast track, and Christian Bale is not in the project. Christian bailed out of the project. That wasn't funny? Well, I do write comedy, but that joke was courtesy of the writers of The Big Bang Theory and Two and a Half Men. This movie's having problems, without a doubt. But it's like, listen, Danny Boyle, fantastic director. 28 Days Later, Trainspotting, Sunshine. It's freaking Danny Boyle, man. Like, he's a really good director. And Aaron Sorkin, Aaron Sorkin's like one of the best writers in the business right now. He does The Newsroom on HBO. He did The West Wing. He wrote The Social Network, which is one of my favorite David Fincher films. So, Aaron Sorkin, to put it lightly, is fucking amazing. So, you're thinking to yourself, like, this has the potential to be good? What's going on over there? Here's the piece of news. Apparently, Sony has dropped the movie. So, where's this thing going? It's like, Sony just kicked out this poor little puppy on the street, and like someone has to home it, someone has to take care of it. So Universal has picked this movie up, and they are going to release it. What is going on with this movie? Seriously, it's like a partner project in school. Like you have the one guy that doesn't know what he's doing and doesn't really do anything, and you have the one guy that does. Sony is that guy that doesn't know how to do anything. He like takes the project, wants to do it by himself, and like prove to everyone that he's worthy, and like he's not a piece of shit or anything. And then once they drop him, like, I give up. Universal's like, hey, listen, I'm your partner in this project. I'll take care of it. And they pat him on the back or whatever, like they're there, and they pick it up now. So what's going on with this movie, guys? I'm looking forward to it. And listen, I've been a strong component of the Ashton Kutcher Jobs movie. I actually like that movie a lot. I think it's good. And like Ashton Kutcher is not a bad actor. A lot of people do not like him. I like him a lot. I like him in more of his dramatic stuff. Like Butterfly Effect is one of the most underrated, criminally underrated movies out there. No one ever talks about that. That is a fantastic movie with Ashton Kutcher. So I'm looking forward to this one, though, because Aaron Sorkin and Danny Boyle, you can't fucking beat that. So that is the second piece of news, and the only piece of news basically this week besides the Mike Nichols thing. So comment below if you have anything about the news. I mean, slim pickings today. Here's where it gets interesting. Let's talk about some trailers that dropped this week. There's 4 trailers that dropped, and I want to talk about all 4 of them. All 4. Apparently my speech is going out, and my brain's kind of like just dripping out my ears right now. All right, so the first trailer is the Peanuts trailer, and of course, this is not the movie based on Mr. Planter or what's his name, Mr. Planter's Peanuts or whatever. Or Mr. Peanut. Yeah, this story is not about Mr. Peanut and how he became the biggest nut mogul in the world, and which is ironic because he is a peanut himself. This is the comic strip, from the newspaper with Charlie Brown and Lucy and Woodstock and Snoopy. These characters were timeless, and the trailer dropped in. It's not like a full trailer that describes like the plot or anything. It's just kind of like a little sequence with Snoopy and Woodstock, and I thought it was cute. I thought it was charming. I totally dig it. I'm actually really excited for this, and it's actually one of my most anticipated for next year. I kind of feel sorry for it though, because I think it said December 2015. Yeah, Star Wars 7 opens that month. Good luck with that. But anyways, the trailer looks good. The second trailer is Cinderella. This is the Kenneth Branagh directed movie. He also directed the first Thor. He actually directed a version of Frankenstein and a bunch of other Shakespearean plays. And so Cinderella, it was... I don't know. I've seen the trailer like multiple times now, and I can't really decide if I like it or not. Now, listen, I grew up on the 1990s like Disney Renaissance, animation rape era, like where it was like an animation like every single year that was a classic. And Cinderella was one of them. I like the cartoon because, like I said, I grew up on that stuff, and so seeing a live version, and they've done the story so many times in live action, but this one, I don't know. It looks okay, I guess. I mean, if you're a child, you'll probably like it. It's coming off the heels of Maleficent, and I didn't really care for Maleficent that much. Angelina Jolie, she's a gorgeous, well-rounded actress, and she's very good in everything she's in, but I did not think that Maleficent was like, I didn't think it was good at all, and so do you guys hear that? Okay, so apparently my dryer was going off the fritz, and it's plugging itself from the wall and going to go kill us in our sleeps because it is on the fritz. Okay, but anyways, back to Cinderella. I just didn't really find the trailer that interesting, and it just, yeah, it was just kind of so-so, I guess. Like, that's probably my least favorite trailer of the week, to be honest with you, so yeah, Cinderella, yay. Okay, so the next one is Project Almanac, and this is a movie that's supposed to come out this year, but they pushed it until next year. It's produced by Michael Bay, and basically it's found footage style, a bunch of kids, and, you know, they're just kind of going on throughout their life or whatnot, and one of them plays like a videotape of his like 8th birthday party or whatever, and then there's a shot where like you see his younger self blowing out the candles, but then you see his current self in the back in the mirror, and it's like, holy shit. It's like one of those holy shit moments, and I think it looks interesting. When I saw the first trailer for it, I didn't really care for it that much, but this trailer really excited me. I really like time travel movies, regardless if it's fucking ridiculous or like it doesn't make any sense. I actually really enjoy time travel movies. I think it's a great science fiction adventure. So Project Almanac, I think it looks cool, looks interesting. I'm actually looking forward to it. The next one, yeah, oh yeah, you guys ready for this shit? I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you, and don't get too scared. Okay, don't run away. This is really tough for me to say as a male. I like the first Pitch Perfect. Now, it's one of those movies that I actually found it kind of funny. I actually found it really funny, and I really liked all the dance numbers and all the acapella groups. And like, what's interesting is like, if you're not a fan of acapella, like after that movie, you want to go kind of like search for actual acapella groups and like kind of listen to them and stuff. It's kind of weird, but I really liked it. It was fun. It was entertaining. The songs were cool to listen to. Just all singing and stuff, because that's what it is. It's you know, they sing songs, but they use their mouths as, you know, for instruments and stuff. And so the sequel came out, or the trailer came out for the sequel, and I think it looks hilarious. I really can't wait. It's Pitch Perfect. The first one's like a guilty pleasure of mine. I love that movie. It's awesome. So when I heard the second one was going to come out, it's directed by Elizabeth Banks, who also plays one of the characters in the movie. I forgot her character name. I actually don't remember any of the character names, but that's okay. But yeah, Elizabeth Banks directs it. It looks like it's just like the first one. Not like it's a bad thing, but like tone-wise, it looks funny. It looks entertaining. It looks like you'll be tapping your foot when you're in the theater listening to the songs and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. Pitch Perfect 2, yeah, bring it on. If I'm the only guy in the theater, that's okay. Hopefully my girlfriend likes Pitch Perfect. I don't know. I haven't asked her, so hopefully she does. If she doesn't, then I will feel extremely terrible about myself. All right, so that is it for the trailers that came out this week, guys. If you want to comment on any of the trailers that came out, comment that place that's right below my voice and let me know. All right, guys. That is it for the news and trailers. You guys know what that means. Let's get into the meat of the podcast. Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 1 movie review. Let's do this. All right, so let's start from the beginning. And I'll do this for Part 2 when it comes out, but you know, I'll kind of trail my timeline for this. So I saw the first Hunger Games in the Dollar Theater. I'm not going to lie. I didn't see it in regular theaters because it was like a young adult novel. And like this was on the heels of Twilight. And I was like, I don't really want to. And so like I've seen all 5 Twilights. And I'm going to tell you that they're piece of shit movies. Like I'm not saying that because I'm a hater of the books and hater of the movies. No. I'm a hater for the filmmakers actually attempting to make this. Like, the filmmaking in general is just terrible. The acting, the cinematography, the special effects, the directing, the overall tone, it's just awful. It's an awful piece of shit movie that never should have existed. Okay, moving on from that. So I didn't see the first Hunger Games because, I was just like, Twilight, here we go again. But I saw the Dollar Theater and I was blown away. I really liked it. I was like, this is fun. It's engaging. I like the characters. I like the story. The only thing I didn't like about the first one was the cinematography. Holy shit. We got Michael J. Fox in that thing, and, it just... I actually feel kind of bad for making that joke. I love Michael J. Fox. But it was just so shaky. And I know they were trying to avoid that R rating. Because when they actually got to the Hunger Games and it was super violent, kids killing kids, because, that's family-friendly fun. The camera shakes uncontrollably like a seizureistic monkey. And so... It ruined it for me. I didn't like the shaky cam at all. Catching Fire comes out. And I saw Catching Fire last year, and it was a really awesome theater experience. And I really enjoyed Catching Fire. Oh my god. It was such a huge improvement over the first one. And I liked the first one. The thing with Catching Fire is they switched the directors, so the tone was different. It was darker. It was on a grander scale. It felt like this was a universe versus just like a little town like the first one. The cinematography was steady and it was still, and it was gorgeous to watch. I love the effects. I love the story. Jennifer Lawrence kicked ass as Katniss. It was just a huge improvement. And so I really, really love Catching Fire. So here's the third one. And I don't know if you guys know this about me, but when a movie comes out based on a book, I do not read the book. I don't want to be that person that goes, oh, well, that was not like the book. Okay? That just was not like the book. You know that scene in the movie where, like, they were talking on a park bench? Well, in the fucking movie, it was a coffee shop. That's not true to the source material, okay? Fuck my life. I'm gonna go cry after this movie because it doesn't resemble the book whatsoever. Anyways, that is my gothic personality, I guess. So there you go. So I don't read books when the movies are out, like Harry Potter. Like, I never read any of the books while the movies were out. And, like, I'm starting to maybe think about reading the books after the movies because I just want to kind of see and compare. But I don't like when movies come out and stuff and, like, people are comparing it right then and there. Like, the difference is, like, when I read the book after the series, I can go, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, I remember that in the movie and everything. Like, maybe, like, oh, that was different or whatnot, just to see the comparisons. But I'm not going to, like, bitch about it. So when Hunger Games came out, like, everyone's talking about it. It's like the newest hit thing, and, like, I'm just like, I'll watch the movies. And, I've been watching the movies, and I don't know anything about these movies, or these books, I'm sorry, at all. So I'm super surprised about everything that's happening. So I'm like a kid in the candy shop when this movie's being played out, because I'm just like, oh my god, this is happening. Whoa, what was that over there? Whoa. It's like I have ADHD and I'm on Red Bull or something. And so the third one, comes out, part one. Super pumped for it. And I can tell you guys right now, as a Hunger Games movie fan, I really liked part one a lot. Catching Fire is still my favorite so far. I think part two of Mockingjay will probably be my favorite, then Catching Fire, than part one. But I still really enjoyed it. Because here's the thing. With part one and part two movies that are split on one book, I hate the fact that Twilight did it. I didn't mind so much on Harry Potter because I never read the book, but I could see the book was the size of, like, a gorilla fist. So I didn't mind the fact that it was split into two. Now, I've seen Mockingjay's book, and it's not as big, but, I'm still not fond of breaking it up into two parts because, all they want is that green bill so they can snort it up their butthole. Green bill as in money. So... Can you imagine if that's what executives do? They make movies to make money, and then they take that money and they snort it up their buttholes. I might write that into a movie. But, so, breaking them into parts, I was not, like, okay with ever. I'm still not okay with it. But for this one, I like it. Like, it's weird. Like, I can complain about it being split into two parts, but when I actually sit down and watch it, I'm actually okay with it. But I guess just the hypocrite in me. I really enjoyed part one. It's just becoming one of my favorite young adult franchises. So let's break this down. Enough jibber jabbering. So the directing. So Francis Lawrence directed Catching Fire, and he comes back to direct this one, and he's going to be directing part 2. And I thought he made this movie darker. It was so much darker than Catching Fire, because Catching Fire was darker than the first one. This one was complete genocide. There was dead bodies everywhere. There was shit blowing up. In Katniss, you could see that she was broken mentally. It's just a downward spiral from the first one. The first one opens up with Katniss in the woods, and she's just hopping around like a fucking bunny, and she's just going hunting, having a good old time in her life. And then in the third one, you just see that someone hit her in the gut, and I just really like that progression, and that all comes down to the directing and the tone of the film. Like I said, I never read the book, so I can't compare. But what I can tell you from the movie aspect alone, because they're two different mediums, guys. Some things work in books, some things work in movies. It happens that way. You have to change stuff up. But I love the directing in this movie. It's so bleak and so dark, and they really captured the essence of the dirty world of political propaganda. And I really liked the way it was directed. I thought it was handled very well, and damn you, splitting up into two parts, because it left it on the cliffhanger, and I cannot wait for part 2. So the directing is just very solid. I just love, like I said, the political bullshit. That's the way I describe it. President Snow in the movie, he convinces people to think one way, and he brainwashes them. And Katniss, in the beginning she was being brainwashed by him, and then she's stepping up, realizing that she needs to rebel against them because they're evil, and she's the one glimmer of hope, and there's just so much going on, and it just I love these movies. I can't lie. So yeah, it's super solid directing and writing. I actually thought the writing was really strong as well. Acting. Jennifer Lawrence owns it as Katniss. She really does. There's really nothing to complain about the acting at all. I actually like all the actors, because they're literally the same characters from the previous two, so it's really hard to be they weren't really good in this one, but they were good in number 2, and they were a little good in the first. No, they're all good in all of them. Unless they suck in the first one, then they'll never get better. But Woody Harrelson's in it. The late Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace, sir. He's one of my favorite actors of all time, and it's just sad that he left us. But Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it. Julianne Moore plays President Coin. We got Josh Hutcherson as Peeta Mellark. Then we have Liam Hemsworth as Gale, and a bunch of others that they added. And I like everyone. Everyone's fine in this movie. No one's terrible. Everyone's got really cool, compelling characters. Especially Donald Sutherland as President Snow. Oh my god. He will literally stare you down, strike his eyes into your soul, and rip it up. He's just that evil. So the acting is all around solid. Have no problems or complaints there. Cinematography, like I said, it's literally every set on this one, part 1, was a barren wasteland or a bunker. And so the cinematography is kind of limited, but when it got to the apocalyptic districts, I thought it was shot very well. It captured that tone of genocide and stuff. And what I got from Catching Fire is this. I am fully convinced that this movie is basically about Nazis, the symbolism of Nazis and what they did and stuff, and how they controlled everything. And you made one small movement, and they would kill you. And so. In this, because in number 2, I started to see that when the police or whatever would start killing people, but this one I really felt it, because every time when Katniss would go to a different location, you could see all the skulls on the ground, and all the buildings ripped up and bodies everywhere, and it just looked awful, but yet so beautiful in the cinematography. And all the bunker scenes were lit well, and they served their purpose. But I liked all the environment scenes; they were shot well, like I said. There's a lot of foresty and river, like near rivers and stuff, and it's just beautiful landscape. So can't really complain about the cinematography. The editing, the movie's about 2 hours long, and I can see where people might think it's a little boring because there's hardly any action in it. But here's the thing: if you guys don't know this about me, one of my guilty pleasures is like political thrillers and like political intrigue and politics in general and just propaganda. I love those movies because they're so intriguing. Like, there's a good side and a bad side, and they're just trying to fight in each other and pit against each other. It's awesome. It's like, it's a fucked up mind game, but I love it. I love those types of movies. And there was a couple of action scenes, but like, here's the thing: I don't go to the Hunger Games for action. I never read the book, so going into the first movie, I go into it and I love the action and stuff, but I also love the story. So this one is like all exposition. It's all a build-up, ladies and gentlemen. But you can kind of tell because, it's part one and it's part two. So it's all build-up. There's a lot of talking, but there's a lot of interesting parts, especially if, like me, never read the book. Like, everything's intriguing because I want to know what happens. I want to know all the twists and turns and stuff. So I can see where people might find the 2-hour runtime to be a little laggy, but it didn't really bother me. It took me about, I'm going to be honest, it took me about 5 minutes to kind of get into it. But once, like, Katniss got to a certain location at the very beginning and people started talking and stuff, I was like, okay. Because at the beginning, it was like, she was kind of like wandering around everywhere like a person that is senile or something. So I was like, yeah, that's nice. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then once she got into a certain part in the beginning, I was like, all right, it's on like Donkey Kong. I will never say that again. So overall, I really enjoyed this, but I can't say it's like, this is a masterpiece of a film. I really love the direction of this movie. I love the tone. I love the bleakness. I love the acting. I love all the actors. I love the way it's shot, the cinematography. The music is swelling at times to like really capture that epic feel. For this 2-hour runtime, the pace and the rhythm is very well, in my opinion. But I can see why people might find it's boring due to the lack of action. But that's just me. I like political talkies. I call them the talkies, political talkies. And so overall, I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10, a strong 7 out of 10. I think I gave Catching Fire like a 9. And the reason why I like Catching Fire, my favorite so far, is because like Katniss's character, she's at the top of her game, like she's doing all this and stuff, and she's participating in the Hunger Games, and then shit goes down. She starts realizing everything, and like she starts figuring out stuff. And I think that's what I like about it the most. It's like the most character arc of Katniss in one of the movies. So that's why I like number 2 the most so far. But I'll guarantee that my mind will change once Mockingjay Part 2 comes out. But I think a strong 7 out of 10 is fine for this movie. I really like it, like a lot, guys. I'm not downing it whatsoever. But giving it an 8, 9, or 10, I just feel like, I've seen so many movies this year, and like so many of them are deliciously awesome that they deserve the 8s, 9s, and 10s because they're just masterclass of filmmaking. This is an entertaining political thriller. It really is. That's what it boils down to. So 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed Mockingjay Part 1. I cannot wait for number 2 to find out what the hell happens and how this thing ends. It's been a fantastic journey. I really like the Hunger Games, guys. Shoot me. So, what did you guys think of the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part Uno? Comment in that place to upload my voice and let me know. I would like to hear you guys' thoughts on it because I've heard a lot of people, a lot of my Facebook friends say they don't like it. A lot of them say, it's entertaining for what it is. And one of them said it was like an amazing movie. And I think it's a very good movie. A very good movie, and I loved it. But I can't say it's like a masterclass in filmmaking. I can't. I've seen too many movies this year. My tone might change once I see Part 2, and I might go, holy shit, that was a great saga. But for now, I really liked it. Go see it, especially if you're a fan of the first 2, or if you read the books, or if you like Jennifer Lawrence. Because that's one thing. I do like Jennifer Lawrence. I will literally watch anything with her. So that will do it for that portion, guys. Let's go on to the box office results for the weekend. You guys know what made number 1, but how much? Let's get to it. Number 5 is Gone Girl with $2.8 million. Its domestic haul is $156 with a worldwide total of $327 on a budget of $61. That's so awesome. I'm so glad that David Fincher's finally getting a movie that does well, and I'm glad that Ben Affleck's getting back into people's graces. I've always liked Affleck, so I'm cool with it. Rosamund Pike is awesome. It's just such an awesome movie. I'm so glad it's still hanging in there in the top 5. Number 4, Dumb and Dumber 2. To where? To 4th place. With $13.8 million, domestic haul is $57 with a worldwide total of $70, and its budget is unknown, but the first one cost like $15 million. I think this one costs like $60. I could be wrong though, but I think it's way more than an average comedy, so I honestly don't know if it's making money or not, or if it's losing money. Number 3 is Interstellar with $15 million. Its domestic haul so far is at $120 with a worldwide total of $449 on a budget of $165. Double that, ladies and gentlemen. You have $330, I believe. And so Interstellar has made its profit. Congratulations. Listen, in my original review, I really liked Interstellar. The last third of it kind of threw me through a loop. So I'm about to watch it again, but hey, it's making its money back, and plus some. So congratulations, Mr. Nolan. You have made another successful film. Number 2 is Big Hero 6 with $20 million. Domestic haul is $135. Worldwide, it's got $185 on a budget of $165, which is the same budget as Interstellar. When it's got a worldwide total of $180 something, yeah, it's not really making its money back. So, I mean, I liked Big Hero 6. It did its purpose. It was cute. It was fun. But, it's not one of my favorites of the year by any means. Lego Movie still holds best animated film for me personally. That and The Book of Life. But anyways, number 1, you guys know it's Harry Gonad's Mockingjay Part 1 with $123 million. Here's the thing with that number. The studio execs over at Lionsgate were expecting a 150 mark because Catching Fire did so well. They were thinking, this is the last part in the series. Like, people are going to see this, and so it's going to get a lot of revenue. And so they were expecting 150. It got 123. Guys, Lionsgate, what the fuck are you smoking? Okay? Like, 123 is still good, and your movie's going to make huge bank and is going to profit so well. Don't cry in your jeans because it got 20 million, 25 million less than you expected. Boo-hoo. If anything, you'll fucking double that when part 2 comes out. So just fucking chill your tits. But anyways, Harry Gonad's Mockingjay Part 1 as a 123 domestic and worldwide on its first weekend, 275. Not bad. The first and second one did very well worldwide, and so I'm assuming this one's going to do very well worldwide as well. Budget is unknown, but the last one cost, I think, $120 million or something like that, and the first one cost like $60, and of course they made their money back, so I'm sure they bumped this one up to maybe like $150 or something. But anyways, it's going to make its money back. Look, like hypothetically, like if this movie was a $150 million budget, it's already made almost $300 million worldwide, which means you break it even on its first weekend. So it's already doing very well. So you don't have to worry about anything, Lionsgate. Just calm down. But anyways, that is the box office results for the weekend. That will do it, guys. That was a kind of a quick episode. I usually don't keep it under 40 anymore, but kind of a slow news week if you think about it. So whatever. Anyways, that will do it for this week's episode, guys. If you guys want to follow me on Spreaker here, just click that follow button. You get up to date when I go live and when I post these things. I'm also on iHeartRadio, so you can find me there. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's @RealChaseLee REEL, Chase Lee, all one word. If you guys want to like my Facebook page to get updates on movie reviews, the podcast, and whatever movie news I drop on the site, it's facebook.com/Real Reviews with Chase Lee, all one word. If you guys want to subscribe to my YouTube page, where I put my movie reviews, the podcast, web series, short films. I'm going to be putting a music video up there shortly, so there's just a bunch of random shit on there. Just go enjoy yourself, okay? And I think that's it. I think that's all the social media. Yeah. But anyways, guys, if you guys like this episode, as usual, tell your friends about it. Spread this thing around. Spread this like a good disease, okay? Not like a bad disease, okay? Just spread it around like a good disease on the internet and tell your friends about it. Tell your family. Well, actually, don't tell your family, because then they might be like, why is this 12-year-old cursing on this podcast? Just spread this around, and it helps this show grow, and it helps just me keeping this show on as long as possible, especially for the people that like it out there, because I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I do this show for you guys. I love the fact that you guys listen every single week. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys are fucking awesome. So, like I said, that will do it for this week, guys. Next week, Thanksgiving week, I do the shows on Sunday, so perfect. I'll still do it. I will still have a show next Sunday, episode 54, and most likely it will be Horrible Bosses 2. Yeah! And also, I will have a review of the Jurassic World official trailer that will drop on Thanksgiving Day. I'm so fucking excited to review that for you guys. That will be on next week's episode. So, I'm Chase Lee. This is Real Me and Colon, a movie podcast. If you guys listen to this... if you're listening to this during the day, during the night, have a good day, have a good night. If you're listening to it on the toilet, that's okay. I will still be your friend. I just won't shake your hand if I meet you. I'll give you a hug, though. Just gotta wash your hands. Please wash your hands. Okay, I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.